The image of Vinicius walking off the pitch with his jaw tight and a bottle skidding from his hand felt less like a footballing moment and more like a thunderclap, small, visible, impossible to ignore. For years, he was the electric constant on Real Madrid's left, a player whose threat altered the breathing of matches. Now under Xabi Alonso, that steady current has been deliberately rerouted, sometimes into the bench. The substitution against Espanyol, taken off in the 70s while the game was still alive, was not a quiet, tactical tweak. It produced a public, raw snapshot of frustration, a player who did not mask his feelings as he left the grass. That image has become the hinge on which conversations about his future are swinging. Behind the emotion, the contractual facts are blunt and unromantic. Vinicius has a deal that runs until 2027 and a release clause so enormous it reads like a line from another era, a figure intended to tear and to declare value in one breath. The clause is real leverage for Real Madrid. It is also a dramatic negotiating point if other parties decide to test the market. Negotiations over an extension that once looked promising have lost momentum, and in football, momentum is everything. Once it leans the wrong way, it can carry a club and a player toward an exit that seemed inconceivable months before. Money is never far from headlines these days, and Saudi interest has been the ever-present hum in the background of this story. Rich offers, fast contracts, and the promise of unparalleled wages have turned the transfer windows of recent seasons into feverish marketplaces. Vinicius, with his profile and his age, naturally attracts attention. The question that now hangs in the air is not whether there is appetite to buy him, but whether price, pride, and the timing of a possible January move could align, and whether Madrid, facing a cultural test as much as a sporting one, would open the door mid-season. There are at least three paths forward. 1. Madrid stands immovable. The Euro's $1 billion clause a theatrical but effective barricade, and Vinicius either accepts a rotated role or finds a route to rapprochement with the coaching staff. 2. A blockbuster offer arrives, tense behind-the-scenes bargaining ensues, and the club weighs sporting goals against an offer that could rewrite balance sheet. 3. Both sides step back, conversations restart, and the summer becomes the moment for resolution rather than frantic mid-season upheaval. None of those outcomes is simple. Each comes with collateral, fan fury, tactical disruption, the player's legacy at the club. What makes this more than a transfer rumour is what it says about modern football's brittle edges, talent and temperament, meet strategy and spreadsheets, and sometimes the human element gets clipped by commercial logic. Vinicius' visible anger is not merely a headline. It's a symptom of a deeper negotiation, of role, respect and future. For Real Madrid, a club built on continuity and narrative icons, deciding whether to protect a star or to profit from one will test identity as much as it tests a transfer ledger. For Vinicius, the choice is personal and public, to fight for place and legacy or to stake a claim on a different life elsewhere. In the end, January is more than a date on the calendar. It is a cliff edge that could redefine a season. Will coaching philosophies adjust? Will offers arrive that force Madrid's hand? Or will a private conversation between player and club quiet the headlines and reset the narrative for another campaign? The answers are not only about contracts or clauses, they are about how a club, a coach and a player manage pride, patience and power in the heat of a long season. The world will be watching not just for the money or the drama, but for the shape of the football that survives the storm.